Guitaristas is proudly supported by Gear for Music. Hello, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Guitaristas. Now, this week, it's all about the headstock. In there, I've got 4 guitars here with different headstocks and quite a wide variation in price. From the big known brand down to a kind of a looky-likey budget brand. And what I wanted to do was, do a deep dive really, and to see, you know, for a bit of fun, to see what the differences are. And it's that old chestnut again, isn't it? You know, is the extra £1,000 or more than that, in fact, on the big brand really justified? Very importantly, can we actually hear the difference? We're gonna start with that. Although what we're gonna do today is we'll do a deep dive. All of these guitars, we're gonna tear them down. We're gonna do all the weights and measures. Have a look under the hood of each of them. You know, measure the pickups, necks, weights, all that good stuff. You know, all that nerdy nonsense that we do here. And we're going to hear them. But what I thought was really important is that we heard them first, although it's not first. It's going to be, we're going to hear what they sound like after I've done all that and put a new set of identical strings on all of them and tuned them up. Okay, so a level playing field in that respect. We'll dive straight into that now. And the fascinating thing is you're going to just hear them. You're not going to see them while you're hearing them. And what I want you to do is tell me now, tell us, share with the group which guitar you think's which, without having any kind of unfair advantage of knowing, oh, that one's heavier than that one, or those pickups are hotter than that one, or whatever. So we're going to hear them. Now, before we do that, let me show you what the guitars are. We'll start at the, well, some would say the top. I had to actually look at the headstock to see which one was it. It was this one, which is a Gibson SG Standard, which I paid £1,412 for. I've bought all of these guitars. This one cost me £1,412 from our channel partner Gear for Music, because they were the cheapest. We'll go while I was there. I also bought this, which is Gear for Music's own brand looky-likey version of an SG. This is called the Brooklyn Select, and this cost me £129. So big old difference in the price. This is the cheapest, as you may have guessed. Next here we've got the Epiphone SG Standard in lovely TV yellow. This comes in a variety of colours. I think I can't see any more of these for sale at the moment, but Silver Mist is still available, cherry and black, £399. So again, quite a bit more expensive than the Brooklyn, or the next one here, which is the East Coast GS10. This one, this is Anderton's Guitar own brand. This one cost me £169. Okay, so there you go. That's the range. Top price £1,412, cheapest £129. Can we hear the difference? What we'll do now is we'll go straight into that first soundbite. Guitars A, B, C, and D. You won't see them, you'll just hear them. And then after this clip, in the comments, tell us which one's which. And then what we'll do is we'll tear them all down, do all the weights and measures, come back, play them all again. And obviously I'll reveal what the answer to that was. And we'll play them all again and you'll be able to see and hear and stuff. Let's get on with it. Okay, so here we go. 4 guitars, A, B, C and D. First I'm going to go through all 4 on the bridge pickup, fully cranked, just through the Fender Princeton, no pedals. It's a very simple little chord sequence, and I'll try and give it the same weight for each guitar. It's very simple. We'll do something a little bit more complicated later on so you can hear, you know, different amps and different sounds and stuff, but just some basic chords, 4 guitars, starting with guitar A. And now guitar B. This is guitar C. And guitar D. Now onto the neck pickup, guitar A. Guitar B. Guitar C. And guitar D. There you go. Can you hear any difference? I don't know. I haven't recorded that bit yet, so I have no idea. It might be massive differences, might be very little. I'm looking forward to finding out. You let me know now in the comments which guitar you think was which. A, B, C and D. That's Gibson, Epiphone, East Coast, Gear for Music. Which was which? I'll tell you at the end, and also I should mention that I'll tell you at the end how you can win one of these guitars, okay? Launching a raffle, you can win one of these guitars, so stick around for that. I should also mention that timestamps are in the description box, so if you can't be bothered to wait, just skip forward. Let's get into all the nerdy detail for those of you that care. We're going to try and cover as much ground as we can, really. First, obviously, when was it? A couple of weeks ago, we did an unboxing, and the whole point of that was I was saying how close this one, no, not that one. See what I mean? They look the same. This is the East Coast, and the point of that film was how much that looks like the real deal, you know. And I said, oh, it's identical. Of course, there were those of you that pointed out the differences, and there were some, which we'll point out today. But, you know, look, first glance, it looks like a Gibson SG, doesn't it? Let's start now by looking at the shapes, because there were a few comments about people saying thicknesses. This one was thicker than that one, or whatever. From the view that you've got there, yeah, I'm just looking on the camera. So that's the Gibson, that's the East Coast, that's the Epiphone. A lot of people said the Gibson was thinner. That might be an illusion, because what you do find, as a rule, it's not a hard and fast rule with Gibsons versus Epiphones, but what you do find is that the horns at the top here on Gibsons are narrower there. They taper more than, this is going to be fun because I'm throwing all these guitars around. There's going to be guitars banging into each other. I'm sorry. There you go, look, the taper. See, the taper on that is different. Always, pretty much always the case. Epiphone has a wider taper on its horn than the Gibson. And the East Coast here follows the Epiphone taper. Let's have a measure of the thicknesses though, to see if the actual bodies are the same thickness. Right, we'll start with the Gibson. We'll measure them all here. Top horn, 35.04 mil. Epiphone. I've never done this before. Ooh, 38.35. Coast, 39.81. And the Gear for Music Brooklyn Select, it's thicker, quite a bit, 45.37. Now let's weigh them. Again, we'll start with the Gibson, which weighs £6 1 ounce, which is 2.76 kilos. And the Epiphone, 7.4 pounds, which is 3.30 kilos. The East Coast, £8 4 ounces, 3.75 kilos. And the Gift for Music is £7 12 ounces, or 3.53 kilos. Okay, now here are all the neck profiles and measurements on the screen side by side now. So you can have a look at those. See for yourself, there's no kind of major variation in any of those really. Not a lot in it. They're all what I would call medium C profiles. Okay, let's look at the pickup readings. Start with the Gibson on the bridge, 8.05 kilo ohms, and the inductance is 4.30 Henrys. And over to the neck, 7.76K with an inductance of 4.15 Henrys. Epiphone, 8.73K on the bridge with an inductance of 4.77 Henrys, and on the neck 8K with an inductance of 4.39 Henrys, so broadly the same as the Gibbons. East Coast GS10, 8.41K on the bridge with an inductance of 3.43 Henrys, and on the neck 7.84K, 3.13 Henrys. And the Brooklyn Select, I had a feeling this might be slightly different. 15.69K On the bridge, hot. 5.29 Henrys, and on the neck, 8.32K with an inductance of 2.62 Henrys. So we might hear the difference of that. We might have heard the difference of that. It'd be interesting to see. Now I'm going to spare us all the pain of unscrewing all the pick guards and looking underneath. I don't think it's necessary. I think what's important is how they sound. And for a lot of these guitars, I've done it before anyway. So what I did want to point out, however, though, was the eagle-eyed amongst you noticed when I said, oh, look, they're identical, or the East Coast is identical, a few of you pointed out that the knobs, there's a bit more space between the East Coast knobs than the Epi, and the Epi is the same as the Gibson, which is out of shot there. I'll just prove that. The finger test. Epis are a bit tighter actually, lots of room there, and of course there's only one volume and one tone on the Brooklyn Select. Now I'm going to put a new set of strings on, and we'll go full circle to the beginning. What you heard, I'll show you what you were hearing. Okay, let's see if you were right. How did you get on? It's difficult, isn't it? I mean, it is difficult. I think separating the headstock from the sound and which headstock you might prefer, I don't think it necessarily correlates to the sound that you prefer. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have had a clue if I'd had to do that blind. I wouldn't have had a clue. And don't go cheating and editing your original comment, because I'll know. I'll see it, because it says if it's been edited. So be honest with yourself. Did you prefer the sound of the headstock that you preferred? Yeah. Because I mean, you know, let's not make the assumption that everyone wants the Gibson. I mean, I did say it's the one everyone wants, and it pretty much is, but there are a lot of people that actually hate Gibsons and wouldn't buy one for all sorts of reasons. So, you know, Did you prefer the sound of the headstock that you would prefer? I think there was definitely a difference between the Gibson ones, i.e. the Gibson and the Epiphone. They were brighter, noticeably brighter than these two. So, you know, people will tell you it's the quality of wood, or could be the bolt-on necks, because these have both got bolt-on necks. These two haven't. It could just be the cheaper pickups. Yeah, let's assume that there are cheaper pickups in the cheaper guitars than the official SGs. I don't know. They were warmer. I honestly, I thought that not on all of it, but in some of it, I preferred the sound of the Brooklyn Select than I did the Gibson. So I don't know. I mean, it is a can of worms. It's adding to the can of worms, isn't it? The last film I made when I unboxed these was, unboxing a can of worms. The question then was, the ethical kind of making SG copies like this one, the East Coast, which is, all bar the shouting, knob differences and all that, but it's, it's pretty close to ripping off the Gibson SG. That was an interesting one, because I expected a lot more pushback than we got in the comments. To be honest with you, most of you can give a toss as long as you can get. There was a lot of quite rightly. A lot of people said, "Well, look, it's a gateway, isn't it? It's a gateway to eventually getting a Gibson." People can't afford a Gibson when they start out, so the thing that the cheaper copies are doing is great. It's giving you access to get a feel of that particular style of guitar, and you'll then go on to buy a Gibson, perhaps, which I think is a really good comment, and I'm presumably the big brands are aware of that these cheaper well, presumably Fender aren't aware of that, because they've fucked up recently, haven't they? I don't I don't weigh in on that sort of thing, because it's not really what I do here. But anyway, yeah. So I was quite surprised that there wasn't much of an outrage of copyright theft. People going, yeah, fine. We all like a cheap guitar, don't we? So there you go. Well, it's about the headstock, isn't it, really? Any of these guitars are bloody great. So, as I've said, the cliche, the best guitar is the one that you're playing. And, and they all sounded good. And they were all straight out of the box. I changed the strings, obviously, on all of them, and I played them all. And that was it. That was all I did. Nothing else. So any of these guitars, buy it and enjoy it and play it. Feel wise, I mean, I'd love to say that the expensive one felt much better or different. I mean, honestly, I don't think it did. Not that I noticed. I didn't notice. Maybe I just don't notice these things. I pick up a guitar and I play it, and I vibe with it or I don't. And all of these guitars, I spent a little bit of time with them this week, and they all sounded all right and they all felt all right. And I wouldn't rush out and buy. And I wouldn't say, oh no, this is the. You could not say. I could not say, this is the best one. I couldn't, honestly. I would say the Gibson, because it is the one that I would gravitate towards, because I'm a brand whore. But that's the only reason, probably. As daft as that sounds. Anyway, there you go. Let me, you let me know what you think, because it doesn't really matter a toss what I think, does it? Let me know what you think in the comments. How did you get on? And so on and so forth. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, it's raffle time. And obviously, the excuse to get the Gibson SG to do this whole film was the fact that this will be our raffle prize. And the raffle for this is now live. You can win this now. The link's in the description box. It's a £5 a ticket. The proceeds go to support this channel, all of this nonsense, and pay for these things so that we can do this stuff. 10% of proceeds go to charity as always. And I think we're going to donate to the Stroke Association on this occasion. And the other thing is, do you know what? I'm going to add the Epiphone as second prize. I wanted to keep it, but I'm not going to. We're going to add the Epiphone as second prize, and yeah, fuck it, why not? The East Coast GS10 as third prize. So you've got 3 chances of winning. Gibson, Epiphone, East Coast. £5 a ticket. Support the channel. It keeps this thing going. So links in the description box, and all the info you need to know about it is on the raffle.com site, the FAQs. And that's it. The raffle will be drawn on Sunday, the 19th of July. Okay. And I will reach out to the winners almost immediately via email, and we'll get it shipped off to you. And you won't have to pay any shipping or taxes, because we'll cover that all. Okay. There you go. What's not to love about that? Which one would you prefer to win? Well, there you go. I think that's it. I'm just going to check my notes. Yeah, we're all covered. We've ticked all the boxes. I think these things are interesting because it proves that, well, it proves nothing, does it? It doesn't prove anything at all, really, does it? But it proves that you can get a decent sound out of a £129 guitar. Probably as decent a sound. I mean, depending on your opinion, of course, but this probably sounds just as good, or to some people even better than this. So what's not to love? Yeah, and I'm keeping this one because I'm fond of these little Gear for Music range. I've showed you some of their others. They're quirky. They're a little bit different. They're dead cheap, and we'll do something with it at some point. We'll donate it to someone. I'm trying to find a rock school to donate some of the cheaper guitars to, and I'm not having much luck, to be honest with you. So if there's anyone in my neck of the woods, which is in the southeast of England, and you know a good cause, yeah, hit me up, let me know, because I don't know, it's proving difficult to find. Do rock schools still exist? If not, maybe we should start one. Anyway, that's it. I'm done waffling. It's hot. I'm going to go and have a lie down. And raffle's now live. Links in the description box. Get a ticket or 2 and win one of these beautiful guitars. Support the channel. Support charity. And thank you. Yeah, that's it. I'm lost now. See you next week. Cheers, ta-ra.